come and see everything that we talked about, and maybe one day be one of those people that gave a testimonial and had that great experience here, like most people do at Cyber Trade University. But let's get right into it and let's talk a little bit about it. First of all, so I can see everybody can hear me okay. Is that right? Aloha. Ooh, look at that. We got Patrick from Hawaii. Okay, good to see you. All right. So before we get started, everybody, just a couple of little risk disclosures. Just please keep in mind that you can get in big trouble trading, and education varies student to student, depending on your experience, depending on your, we don't make no guarantees, no promises, no warranties. Just, please keep in mind and be smart, and don't go out there and try to trade and, that with something you can't afford to do. Now, what we're going to be learning today is we're going to talk about how to find the best trades to stocks to trade in today's markets. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about how to follow, which we're very well known for, what we really is the main part of this, is how to follow the big money. That's really what we're going to look at. We're also going to talk about have a consistent trading plan, exactly knowing where to get in, where to get out, why these things go up and down the way they do. Not be focused so much on what people talk about on the past, but how to focus on the future. And we're also going to talk about, some trading and some, and how to keep it like a serious business, because that's what it is. Listen, a lot of us, I'm sick and tired talking about COVID. My God, COVID. But you know what? At the end of the day, when you really see where we came from and see what's happening with today's markets, you know what? COVID changed a lot of people's lives. And not only that, but, you could see what's happening with the supply chain. You could see about people not going to work, people are quitting. And you know what? Where are they going? You know what? That's not your problem. You know what your problem is? You got to worry about your own money. You got to worry about yourself. And that's why more people are getting into trading more than anything else. And listen, I've been doing it for 25 years. I love what I do. But people always ask me, Fausto, if you're such a good trader, why do you teach? And the way I answer that question is this. I'm only as good as the people I surround myself with. So what I'm looking for is what I've learned, because when I learn how to trade, you have to trade around good traders. So I'm looking for people like you that if you like what you see and it makes sense, then I'll teach you how to trade, but I'm going to show you how to do it. And hopefully you could be one of the lucky ones to come and join us at the end of today's presentation. So my goal is I want to bring everybody into my original trading room, what I've been running for over 25 years, and I want you to meet the people that are just like you and see if they make money doing it, because that's the big thing. It's not about me. It's about you seeing if other people could do it. That's the beauty about trading. Now, I don't know if anyone had a chance to read my book, How to Beat Market Makers at Their Own Game. It's a very nice, fast read. Basically, if you're just looking to get started, just kind of get the trading for dummies, definitely a great way to get to know a little bit more about us and about Cyber Trade University. Now, before I get into the education part of it, I just want to tell you a little bit about myself, how I got started, okay? Because I think that's important that you should know that I am part of the grassroots that started trading. I was actually one of the original day traders, which they called us back in the old days, So's Bandits. Now, you could see this great picture on Forbes magazine, a bunch of kids tormenting Wall Street. I was actually one of those kids. And when I started, there was about 1,000 of us. Now there's over millions of people around the world that are doing it. So I know I got some grays. I might, but I'm not that old. But it was a young business, and been doing it for so long, and it's not a day goes by that even when I lose, I don't even care, because I know I can come back tomorrow and do it again. Now, just a little bit about my parents, about my heritage and how I started. I'm first generation Italian. This is my parents, and they obviously passed away. And well, thank you. I missed them too. But my parents always taught me that they came to America for a better life after leaving Italy, and we know what happened back in the 50s and the 60s. So what ended up happening there is they came to New York, and they said, you know what? You want to be good at what you want to do. Listen, we want you to have a better future. That's why we came here. And they did very well for themselves. They worked hard. They worked 6 days a week. They never asked for any, any entitlement and no favors, no nothing. They worked hard. And what they taught me is, listen, if you work hard, you'll succeed on what you do. But the goal is, my dad told me he wanted me to be better than him. His goal is, listen, I want you to succeed to make more money than me. And I did. And not only did I did, the whole family did. All my brothers and sisters did. And one of his biggest things he told me, he says, listen, if you want to be good at something, you got to surround yourself with people that are very good at it. Listen, you hang out with troublemakers, unfortunately become a troublemaker. You hang out with thieves, you learn how to be a good thief. You know what? I didn't want to do that. I live here in New York. I was surrounded by great traders. I love the trading market. I saw people making a lot of money. I did what he said, and it worked out well for me. And that is what I want to pass down to you, because you're here for an interview. You're interviewing me. You want to make sure that as Fausto Pugliese and Cybertrade University, the right team that can help me become good at what we do. I mean, that's where it comes down to it. You want to see if you could do this. And you need to find the right person to do it. But if you try to do it yourselves, I'm warning you right now, fellow traders, you're better off quitting right now, because trading is a very big failure rate. And the last thing you want to do is lose money. The last thing you want to do is get yourself in trouble. Okay, so these are my two families. You could see I've been married for almost over 25 years. My wonderful, my three boys and my wonderful wife, Debbie. And this is my second family. And I'm hoping one of you guys, fellow traders, could be just like them too, because we're like a family. We trade like a family and we do well. Now, just to get to know a little bit about you, now you know a little bit more about me, I want to do a quick poll. And one of my polls I want to do is, could everyone just tell me, what kind of trader are you? Are you a stock trader, an options trader, futures, Forex? Just want to get an idea what kind of traders we got in the room. All right. So listen, I'm a stock trader. I like stock trading because this is black and white. I see a lot of people clicking on options. We're going to share the poll and we share the results. You can see where you guys rank with everyone else. Listen, if you want to be a good options trader, you have to learn to be a good stock trader first. It's the movement of the stock that makes an option move. It's a lot harder to trade options. You want to be good options? Learn how to trade the stocks. Same thing for swing trading. How does a stock turn to a swing trading? It all starts from day trading. I'm a day trader. I like to day trade. Maybe some of you are starting to realize, wow, you're seeing all these stocks moving, because you know what? You sleep better at night. I mean, I don't have to worry about anything. Listen, I do some swing tradings. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I do run my own, I have several accounts, but I've only learned how to be good at those by learning how to day trade, and I have to tie my buying power. And I think that's what you people are going to start to realize. You're going to see what it's like, that if you do how to day trade, it'll make your life that much easier and you can make that much better trading decisions on your swing trades and your investings. So let's begin, everyone. By the way, so let's talk about some stocks. Did you guys, anyone here see BCRX last week? Did anybody see this stock make this move? BCRX? Mark, you did it? Okay. Mike, you did? Okay, good. This stock was awesome last week. Let me get my pointer so you guys can follow along. So you can see how the stock went from $12 all the way up to about $14. And you can see how the stock literally had a really nice move within the first hour. You bought 1,000 shares of that stock. If you just got half that move, you made yourself $1,000, $250,000 a year. Who doesn't want that job? Okay. That's basically trading. But look what happened the next day. Stock still went higher. Next day it went from 14 all the way to 17. So not only could you know how to day trade it, but if you saw the stock continue to go up, you could have continued to trade the next day. How about BIG, BBIG, another very inexpensive stock. Look what the stock did for the day. Ran from $290 all the way to $390. You see, you didn't need a lot of money to trade. You could do it a very inexpensive stock. At the end of the day, it's a point system. It's not about, oh, I don't trade these stocks. And by the way, these are not penny stocks. These are NASDAQ national stocks. Then the next day, stock ran to 440. So once it became a day trade, now it also became a swing trade. And you could see how the consistency, how it keeps moving. Did anyone see DWAC today? Anybody saw this today? DWAC? Mark, you did? Okay. Henry, you did? Patrick? Okay. This is a stock that we've been trading. Geez, we caught the stock when the news came out. This is like the new Twitter stock of President Trump. Basically got into the Twitter business, and it looks like they're going to start launching it in February. So the stock had an unbelievable run. Not the first today alone, but this thing has been moving for the past week. It went up to, it started around 50. You probably know the stock went to about 180, came back down, hovered around the $50 price range. But in the last week, it went from like 50, it's already at 90. And it had a hell of a run today. Look at this morning, $72 to $90. Now, when you look at the market, where do we close at today? We closed at, we were down, I'm just looking right here. We were down somewhere around 4,500, right? So anyway, does that mean you can't trade? No, of course you could trade. I mean, that's what happened with the stock DWAC. So your question a lot of people ask is like, how do you find these stocks? Well, let me tell you, finding them is very easy. That's not the problem. The problem is knowing where to get in and where to get out, having that game plan. Finding them, is something that I'm going to teach you guys when you come into my trading room. Okay. By the way, the trading room is going to be online. It's live. We broadcast every single morning. Okay. You see people run trading rooms all the time. Where do you think they followed and learned it from? This is where we started it. But I'm going to show you exactly how we go through our watch list, how we find them, which one is going to give us the least amount of risk with the high amount of reward, because there's obviously a lot of them out there that are moving. But which one we need to find is the one that has the big iceberg orders, which is what we're going to talk about. Now, just keep in mind, why are we buying these stocks? It's not because of news or indicators or a tip from some friend or some fundamental analyst. We are buying them because we're here for one reason and one reason only, and that's to make money. Now, let's get into the strategy behind Cyber Trading University. Now, does anybody here have level 3 quotes? Anybody have level 3? Just give me a yes or no. All right, so let me just, we got here. Okay, let me share the results. Okay, so we got about, unfortunately, we do have a lot of people. Actually, looks like more and more of you guys are getting it. Been a while, been nice to bear. Yeah, well, nice to see you too, Mark. Wow, Mark's been a long time. Mark Mario, I remember you very clearly. Absolutely. But anyway, getting back to level 3, nothing really has changed, Mark, to answer your question. But we have something that came out, which we're going to talk about a little bit later, Mark, is something called level 4, which I think you're going to really, it's going to blow your socks off. But let's talk about level 2, and let's talk about the difference of what it is and how it works, okay? So level 3, let me just get my crayons out here. So basically, what you're seeing is you're seeing all the buyers and all the sellers. So we're looking at what's called the NASDAQ Book Viewer. Now, this is the exchange on the NASDAQ. And what we're seeing is we're seeing every order out there around the world that wants to buy the stock. We're looking at Norwegian Cruise Line, okay? Whoever wants to buy the stock for the most amount of money is up on top. Whoever wants to sell their shares for the least amount of money is also up on top on the sell side. So what you're looking at is a negotiated market. People are advertising. It's like one big chat room, and everyone's just saying what they want to buy and sell it, okay? Now, depending on what price you want to buy it, you'll be aggregated with some other people at the same exact price. And that's basically what you're looking at. Now, the problem with this is a lot of people look at this and they're like, there's a lot of numbers, there's a lot of movement going on. How do I know what I'm looking at? What exactly does this tell me? Well, I got a question to ask all of you. And by the way, if you cannot answer this question, you should quit trading. I say it all the time. How do stocks go up and go down? What drives these things up and down? Let's see how you guys answer this question. That's it. Supply and demand, buyers and sellers, okay? Not support and resistance, because support will not exist unless those buyers are out there, and resistance will not exist unless you have those sellers out there. So it's about the buyers and sellers. Now, please keep that in the back of your mind. Think how much smarter and better trading decisions you'll make by seeing those buyers and those sellers. That's what you have to focus on. So let's clear this out. And let's look at how buyers and sellers equal support and resistance. So here we're looking at a stock, EVGO. Okay, and you could see how the stock started at 9:30 this morning, went from 1360 all the way down to about 1260. Okay, right here, 1260. Now, what happened at 1260? Stock hit the support at 1260 and went all the way up to 1340. Why did it stop for not one, but two, but about 30 minutes? It was hovering around this 1260 because we call that support. But who makes the support? What does that mean? Well, a support is made by buyers, and unfortunately on a chart, you can't see the buyers. But when you look here on level 3, and you look at the NASDAQ book viewer, and you work your way down, right there around 1260, you have a 180,000 share buyer at that price. So look, you got buyers everywhere. You got buyers at 1293, 1290, 1285 for 200, 500. But the most significant buyer is right there at 1260. So think about it. Look at all these orders, these shares on the buys and the sells. What stands out? That one, not anything else. So if you just focus on the volume of a big predominant buyer or seller, that will explain why the stock has support and resistance. Here, we'll look at our resistance levels here. Here's another example, okay? ENSC, I don't care what the company does. It doesn't matter. What matters to you is that you want to take a profit. You need to know that if you're in a position, where do I sell? Because how many of you out there sell a stock and you're always too late? You feel like somebody's watching you, okay? The problem is you're not watching them, okay? That's where it comes down to it. But look at that. From 1140, the stock goes from 460 all the way up to 620. And then if you didn't get out at 620, look at the stock. It came right back down to 590. Why did it stop at 625? Why not 640? Why not 7? Why, for several minutes, it was hovering right there? Well, because resistance was built by sellers. And those sellers are right here. When you look at there in the order, boom, you could see there was a nice 42,000 share seller at 620. Okay? Question right here from, let me see, Fausto, what is the influence of the market maker in this? If they were to buy and or should they somebody out to sell? I'm trading with another trader or with the market maker. So basically, to answer your question, what you're looking at, it could be a market maker, which is a brokerage firm's trading room. You know, for some of them, you don't know what a market maker is. It could be an institution. It could be a high frequency trade. It could be an algorithm. But regardless who it is, all you know that there's a substantial amount of shares at that specific price. So try not to overthink it when it comes to that trading. Kathy has a question. Yes, now I can summarize what the stock is happening back in today from 12 a.m. But how do I know that the support and resistance levels are ahead? We didn't get to that, Kathy. Okay, we're going to get to that. No problem. Really, does level 3 work for S&P futures? Yes, it does. Absolutely. All right. So you're in good hands. So let's go over another couple examples. All right. So looking at RIOT. Okay. So I'm going to stop. I want to ask everybody a question here. Okay. Is this stock going up or down? Let's do a little poll question. Okay. So what do you think the stock is doing from the trend? Down. Okay. Up. All right. So waiting for all you guys to answer this question. All right, let's end the poll. So we got pretty much everyone said was going down. Now, listen, if you said it was going up, You better quit trading because I don't know what in the mind made you think the stock's going up. The stock is obviously trending down. It's a very simple, to the point, stop analyzing, stop questioning it. It's a very direct question. Stock's going down. All right. Now, here's the $64,000 question. When is this stock going to start going back up? What do we need, fellow traders? Kathy, Shannon, Gene, what do we need for the stock to go back up? Because we know it's not going to zero, which it could happen, right? But what do we need? No, we don't need support level, Derek. We don't need support. We need buyers. B-U-Y-E-R-S, buyers. Now, everybody is so fixated on this chart, right? Everybody looks at the chart. Forget about the chart. The chart is worthless. It only tells you the past. You need to read the future. So let's go look at what's going on the orders. So we look for a place we got to look for is where the sellers are located. They're located, obviously on the right. And, actually we're looking for buyers. Stock's going down, right? So we're looking for buyers. What do we have? We have a 36,000 share buyer right here. You could see it at 25.54. Okay. What do you think is going to happen when we get down to 26.54? What do you think is going to possibly happen? I mean, I would assume, from looking what's happening here, it's probably going to go up. Okay, probably it's what's going to do. All right. So sure enough, when we get to the chart, look what happened. Stock came right down to that support levels, and in a few minutes, boom, stock went from 26.60 back to 27.40. All right. So the Fed did not come in, Frank. Frank, absolutely not. And if you're serious about that, Frank, the Fed can't control everything. What came here and what controlled this stock is that 36,000 share buyer, not the 51 share buyer, not the 600 share buyer, but the 36,000 share buyer. Now, let's think about this for a second. If you bought the stock at $26, at $26.60, and you sold it literally 15 minutes later at $27.40, how much money did you make? I'll tell you, 1,000 shares, $800. Do that every day. It's a nice $200,000 salary. Yeah, you know what? I think I like my new job. Okay, this is what people want to do. Now, fellow traders, I'm not trying to kill it. Okay, I'm not these type of traders. Hey, look, I'm up 3,000, 10,000. Oh, let's review my $1 million trade. Forget about that. You know that I know. Listen, you're in a league. You just want to eat. Okay, you just want base hits. Some of us, listen, to trade that substantial amount in an account, you need a lot of money to do it. Okay, and I know a lot of us don't want to go and put that risk. Maybe you got it, but maybe you don't need to. Somebody out there just making a very, low six-figure salary is not that bad of a deal working from the luxury of their home. Now, let's look at Pfizer. Everybody knows Pfizer, right? All right. So here's a stock that we were trading in our trading room. Beautiful trend going up gorgeously, right? Nice trend straight up, right? 9:30 this morning, we're from 56 to 58. Now the question is, where do we get out? Well, the only way we know where to get out is to know where the sellers are. And if you look over here on the sell side, 900 shares, 1,000, 500, 23,000 shares, that's 58. You know what? We're almost there. We're almost there. And you know what? If you didn't get out at that price and you chased it, guess what? You end up losing that profit. So think about it, fellow traders. Did I lose it? First of all, did I lose anybody? Did I lose anybody? Is anybody confused? Mark, you not? You got it? You okay? Good. What about you, Quinn? Patrick, what about you? Okay, good. Listen, we have a few hundred people in here. Bruno, Dimmy, Frank, Mike. What do you guys think? Got it? Okay. Now, let's think about this for a second. Does that seem hard? Does that seem complicated? Think about all these gurus you listen to and you've spoken to, and they all brag about, about they got the best indicator and I got the best software and I got the best, mine works. You know what? I didn't even bring you to the trading room. Here we are just talking about something, which is very simple. What institutions use is like what I did. This is what I used to use when I was a market maker. Now it's public. You don't need to be a market maker. You guys got access to the Instinet machine. This is called ECN books. Your brokerage firm offers it to you. You have a seat on the exchange. Why in my mind you wouldn't want this data? It's called, Kathy, it's called the ECN book. Must have, Quinn. Well, guess what? I don't want you to buy anything. I don't want you to do anything because I need to show it to you live, though. I want to really, listen, anybody can make a really nice PowerPoint, but I want to show you live in the market, okay? And at the end of the presentation, I'm going to invite every one of you to come in the morning, and you're going to watch this and watch stocks that are moving, even some of that you might own yourself. At least you know where everyone else is at, right? You don't want to sit there and trade blind. Now, what we call them, we call these iceberg orders. I came out with that word a long time ago after watching the movie Titanic. We all know what happened to the Titanic. But it's not what's on the top of the water, it's what's on the bottom of the water. And if you don't know and see those big orders on the bottom, you know what ended up happening to the Titanic, and you don't want to be that. And basically, what does that mean? That means blowing up your account. You need to follow the money. Stop pretending and thinking that you're smarter than Wall Street. Stop pretending that you got to get the 6 monitors. Stop pretending that you got to, you got to get a better brokerage firm or a better software. Forget about that. Okay? Smart man taught me, if you can't make money on 1 monitor, how the hell are you going to make money on 6? Okay? I used to work on a 15-inch monitor back in the day. Remember those stupid, crazy, big, Quotrons, with the tube TVs? How could I make money on that? And you guys can't make money on this. And back then I used to pay $20, $25 a ticket. Today you guys pay for free. Nothing has changed other than technology got better. Frank, no, you cannot see them on level 2. Level 2's been outdated since the 90s. Okay? Level 2 is free, and that's all it's worth. You want free stuff, you're in the wrong business. Okay? I don't know a job where you can work for free and make a 6-figure income. I just don't, doesn't exist. If you do, please tell me, unless you're a thief. Okay? Barry, you understand supply and demand a long time ago. Great. And you know what? Now when you see the supply, let's call it the supply chain, right? Now you see where the supply chain is now, right? Now we all know about the supply chain. That's all they talk about on TV. Now you know why you're going to get it. And that's why you're going to be smarter than everyone else and be in front of them, not behind. So there's another platform, which I didn't talk about, which I will cover when you come to my trading room. It's something called Level 4. Now, if you thought this was pretty cool, wait until you see this. Level 4 is basically aggregated more ECNs together because there's more books out there. Basically, you can implement like NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange, they're different orders at different exchanges, but you could see on a heat map how long that trader's been there and if he added to it or he took away from it. So, here you are using some indicator talking about the past. How cool is it if you were able to see that order out there for 104,000 shares and knowing he's been out there since 9:30 and he's been adding it and not knowing where to get out, as it got closer, because if you didn't, boom, you blow up your account. Like, look at this example. Big resistance in Pfizer, right? Look at this seller right here. 9:30 this morning, you see this order right here, 56,000 shares. Look what happened. Seller got done, which, by the way, it could happen. Seller got done at 58, got done 59, but the guy was so ticked off that this is what we probably call a short squeeze. At $60, he went to 291,000 shares. Look how bright red that was. He was out there since 9:30 this morning. And guess what? He really packed it down when it got around $60. Now, you tell me, are you going to be trading and you going out there buying and selling 290,000 share orders? I'll tell you one thing, I would definitely want to be on his team, not yours. So if you can't beat him, why don't you just join him? Think about how much smarter in trading decisions. Think about how many times when you went out there and like I said earlier, you're like, why do I feel like they're watching me? Why do I feel like every time I buy something, it goes down? Every time I sell it, it goes up. It's because you're not watching them. And it's time to step up to the plate and see this live. Because I love changing people's lives. That's why another reason why I love teaching. I've seen too many people blow up their accounts. I've been a guest speaker at every brokerage firm, at almost at every exchange. They want you to learn how to trade and do this successfully. Now, is it for everybody? No, it's not. Listen, some people can't swim. Okay, do you know that? How many of you care? Who can't swim? Who can't swim? I mean, I think like 99% of the people in the world can swim, but there is a 1% that people can't swim. And you know what? That's okay. But at least somebody said, hey, let's go in the water. Let's see if you could swim. And you're like, you know what? I'm good. All right. But how many people want to get into trading and they're just doing it like they're doing it in this, I'm using as a metaphor, but they're like, oh yeah, I could trade. I could trade. Yeah. Okay. No problem. Do you know where the orders are? And they're like, no, but is that important? I would think so. I would think I would want to know there's a 300,000 share seller in Pfizer, not listening to somebody on TV or somebody on YouTube that just told me, oh, vaccine stock, they just came out with it. What the hell does that mean? Just because it's good with the news doesn't mean it's good for the street. Because we all know where Pfizer is today. All right. So, indicators. Everybody wants to know about indicators, okay? There are not hundreds, but thousands of indicators. I mean, listen, you want to learn about indicators? I'm going to tell you right now. What chart is easier to read, number 1 or number 2? What chart's easier to read? Number two. What do you need all this stuff over here? MACDs, Bollinger Bands, Fibonacci's. I mean, look at all this stuff. Barry, thank you very much for that compliment. Let me just put that so everybody can read what Barry just put in there. Thanks a lot, Barry. Appreciate that. Okay. We obviously can't share. We don't share anybody's text messaging in the room, for security purposes, and but you'll be able to talk to each other once we allow you in the trading room tomorrow. But I mean, look at, I mean, like, I see its support levels right here, right? I don't know what the hell this all means. It's crazy, and people actually can read this stuff too. Stop playing and pretending to be some type of technician, okay? Technical analysis paralysis. Keep it super simple, what we call here. Just follow the money. Follow the orders, follow the trend, and that's it. All right? Now, I know this might look confusing with all these windows, but trust me, fellow traders, it's not that complicated. And we don't go out there, we don't beat up our traders. You got to learn it all tomorrow. It is not a sprint, it's a marathon. You're looking to do this for the rest of your life. You just got to make sure it's for you or not. Now, no more candlesticks. Thank you very much, Mark. Listen, exactly. You can use, Mark, candlesticks for your birthday. Okay. All right. So, anybody learn anything? What was the question? What was the best thing that you learned so far? What did you learn so far in the matter of the 30 minutes that we were talking? What did you guys learn? Eugene, what did you learn? Fran? Gino, what did you guys learn? John? Henry? Does time and sales come with level 3? Yes, it does. Follow the money. Follow the iceberg, the KISS method, Henry. Okay, good. Joan says, follow the money. Huge said, a lot. Iceberg orders, Rick. Good, I'm glad, okay? Now, how many of you here would like to see this live? How many of you here want to say, you know what? This really does make sense, Fausto, but I've been bullshitted before, okay? And you know what? I got suckered in. Somebody sold me a course and could never pick up the phone, never talk to anybody. Well, guess what? We don't do that, all right? I want to make sure that I want to put the fear in God in you first, because I don't want you to go out there and think you're going to, be successful at it, but I want to show you other people that are, okay, before you make your first trade, because this is a great job. I love it. I love changing people's lives for the better, okay? But I'm also a businessman. I'm also looking for people I could trade with. That's what I'm looking to do. There's a reason why we've been featured at some of the biggest brokerage firms like Tastyworks, the NASDAQ Center, eSignal, Charles Schwab, Tasty Trade, Thinkorswim. These are brand new, and this is only a few. Cyber Trading University, let me tell you something. Cyber Trading University has been endorsed and featured at more brokerage firms than any school that you will ever meet. And by the way, if you want a little recommendation from me, and you don't got to move forward with Cyber Trading University, if you are going to be dealing with anybody in the industry, any gurus, make sure they're being endorsed by a brokerage firm. Forget about what you read on the internet, because anybody could put fake reviews out there. These brokerage firms do background checks on us, credit checks. They do, believe me, they wouldn't want Fausto and his staff to come and present for them if they thought we're teaching them how to lose money. So, and there's a reason why I've been in business for 25 years. All right. So there's no better time to learn than now. All right. So this is what I want to invite all of you to do. I want you to come to the original trading room. And I want you not to judge us on our winners. I want you to judge us on our losers and see how few we have. And most importantly, it's not about making money. We don't teach you how to make money here at Cyber Trading University. We teach you what to do, how to stop losing it. Think about that. How many people went out there and taught you how to stop losing money? How many people out there taught you how to review your journals? How many people out there will get on the phone with you and start talking and making sure what you're doing is right? That's what we do at Cyber Trading University. And that's what you need to make this successful. And you want to make it successful. But you can only make it successful than the most successful people you could surround yourself with. Kathy, please tell us. I like this. Please tell us what is the name of the firm to be able to get your cyber group reviews fairly. Well, Kathy, I just gave you a list of those brokerage firms. Okay, if you want, you could check out Google review. We've got a 5-star rating, and most importantly, why don't you go to the Better Business Bureau with any other school? We got an A+ rating. In 25 years, trading tens of thousands of people, that's unheard of. Okay. So, but you know what? You make the judgment when you come into the trading room. So this is what I want to do, because we're running out of time, and I want to get you guys registered. Okay. And, Kathy, you're going to see the proof of it. Okay. So basically, we start trading at 8 o'clock in the morning, Eastern time. We do a live audio broadcast right around 9 a.m. We will continue to about 10:30, and then we have an afternoon. We'll pick up and trade the close at 2:30, and we'll trade all the way to 4. Okay, so we do live order commentary. You're gonna get watch lists. You're gonna get workshops. You're gonna get all this in the trading room. So remember, we practice what we preach. Okay. Now, every Tuesday we do a Q&A. We just did ours today. You'll have access to the recording, whatever you missed. So we do a special event once a week with Q&As with the traders. All right. And obviously you're going to have access to that trading room. And not only that, but we also have an alert system. You'll be able to get an alert with our trading room. What all you guys are going to get, you're going to get alerts. And it's cool. You'll know exactly. We'll talk about stocks are getting halted. We'll talk about stocks that with iceberg orders. So you don't got to be in the trading room if you're, because some of you are working. That's okay. Just access to the alert service. At least you'll get the alerts. All right. So how do you get access to this room? This is what we're going to do. $9. That's all I'm asking for is 9 lousy, stinking dollars. Now, some of you are going to be looking at it. They're like, why is that so cheap? Let me tell you what I'm looking for, okay? I want you guys to come in and see the people that are trading. And by the way, I'm not going to hit you up for a residual after 7 days, whatever. I don't play that game. You don't want to move forward with Cyber Trading University. Listen, we don't need you. All right. This is not a right, okay, to be in here. It's going to be a privilege. If you don't want to be there, that's fine. We don't, but we want to make sure that you know what's going on and you could see what's going on. And you know what? You really don't need 1 day. You don't need 7 days, but this is what you're going to get. You're going to get 3 pro workshops. You're going to get Traders Talk Library. You're going to get, you're going to have access to the trading room. And you know what? If you're not happy after 7 days, I'll give you money back. You know, I don't need your $9. The $9 is an application fee to just let us know that you say who you are. Okay, that's all it is. That's all we're looking for. Okay, to train somebody is a lot of work. Okay, and yes, does it cost money? Yes, but we'll worry about that later. That's not important right now. What's important right now is that you need to know the truth if trading is for you or not. That's all it takes. Now the screen is up. The number is up there on the screen. I'm sorry. The link is up there. Click on that link. Register. Now, very important, fellow traders. When you fill out that question, when you fill out the 1-week trial, it's going to ask you 5 questions. Please tell us about you. We need to know, were you ever trained before? Do you have a brokerage account? Okay. We want to make sure you got the right one. We want to know what style you were trained. Okay. So we know a little bit more about you. You need to book an appointment with an education advisor. Okay. They're going to do a walkthrough. You're going to see the customer service. You're going to see the professionalism. All right. We want to make sure you're going to have the greatest experience, but also making sure that you're making the right decision. All right. Now, I'm going to throw a bonus in there. For the first 20 people that register, I will even do a coaching class with you myself. Now, what is my invested interest to do that? Is because I want to make sure that you and I meet eye to eye. We know what we're talking about, and this is something you want to do. Listen, one of you asked me about reviews. I don't need a bad review, okay? And I'm doing pretty well right now for being in business 25 years. I don't need anybody to write any bad reviews. And you know what? You know why people write bad reviews? Because people go out there and they try to sucker people in to try to hit them up with some, gazillion-dollar training course, and you go on your own. I don't do that. This is not about me. It's about us working together and making it more convenient. And by the way, it's not a full-time job too, because somebody else was asking me that question. Well, Joan, thank you very much for sharing that. Joan says, let's just put the link what Joan just put in there. Joan, thank you very much for sharing that. You're hearing some comments from what a great deal it is and from other traders. Once again, if you think you have it in you and you want to follow iceberg orders and you want to follow and see why these brokerage firms, how they run stocks up the way they do, then this is your opportunity to do it. You're at a great time right now. You got stuck in your house. Some of you have been quarantined. Hell, geez, I've been looking at people in Paris. They've really quarantined them there. But listen, you looking for a change? Stop pretending and start surrounding yourself and having people involved in your life to be part of our team. Thank you very much, Joan. More than welcome. Charles says he's in. Yeah, I'm looking at right now. I see that a lot of people are registering right now. I'm just going to do a couple of call outs. I got about 2 minutes because I got to run. Charles Robinson just got you. I guess that's you, Charles. I got your registration. David Moores, I got your registration. Thank you very much. Lance from Buffalo. Go Buffalo Bills. I think they're going to go all the way, actually. Appreciate it. If you got a bad review, it's false. They had some stock to education. You'll never. Well, thank you very much, Barry. I really listen. Just put what Barry wrote out there. Listen, there are competitors out there. There are jealous people. There are people who want to blame people for all this stuff. So you can't always. You got to take it by a grain of salt. But you know what you can't take away? The Better Business Bureau. Okay, you can't take away that if you go to talk to Tom Sosnoff at Tasty Trade, the founder of Thinkorswim, and say, hey, could you tell me a little bit about Fausto? If you love him, he says, I would have him all day teach classes for me. Okay, this is the kind of relationship I have. But I just want you to understand something, fellow traders. We don't teach everybody. Some of you, we don't. We'll tell you point blank, we don't want to do it. And it's nice to know that somebody like a doctor is going to sit there and analyze you and says, okay, I could see if it's for you or not. But what do you got to lose? It's 9 lousy, stinking dollars, and you get your money back and you get all this great stuff. All right, just one more minute, everybody, because I got to run. What do we got here? Mike Pickard, we just got your registration. You're the lucky ones. We're just going to be able to talk to you. Got you registered. Hannah just got yours. Registration. Welcome aboard. And I see you guys are starting to fill out and make sure you fill out that questionnaire. I'm just looking at it, making sure you're filling out. Make sure you fill out that application. It's very important we know a little bit about you. Okay. Patrick, thank you very much. I really, really appreciate that, Pat. And Pat, listen, we spoke and you know what it's all about. You want to make sure that you're dealing with the right person. You know what I mean? Like the right team. And Pat, listen, there are hundreds and hundreds of people. We get hundreds of registrants, people that want to do this. And you know what? It's nice that you know the truth before you get yourself involved in it. Because guess how much money you could lose in a single trade? So why not see if other people, hear the good, the bad, the ugly? I mean, I hear people, oh, you're going to lose all your money doing this. You know what? You're right. People do lose a lot of their money, but who really trained them? I deal with it all the time. But come and find out the truth. All right, fellow traders, listen, thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you all tomorrow. Please make sure you book your appointment education advisor, you fill out the questionnaire, you do the $9 trial. And if you plan on doing it in the future, you could always just tell your education advisor, I want to start next week or whatever it is, and we'll just set it up and get you ready when you want to activate and get into the trading room and get access to all the workshops. But just please, fellow traders, you have to learn before you can earn. So if you don't move forward with us, at least move forward with somebody, and you're going to need to learn from several people. But don't be ignorant, because you think education is expensive, try ignorance. All right. You can't be successful at doing this by learning on your own and watching YouTube or reading some books. It'll never happen. All right. Thank you very much, fellow traders. And we'll see you tomorrow. Hey, Renee, nice to see you again. Mark, see you soon.